I don't think you should chase trends, but they do have their good points. They can help introduce you to new styles, and they can also help introduce people into fashion who might not have known where to start otherwise. But this video isn't about that. In this video, I want to talk about the trends that I think will dominate 2022. Obviously, I'm not a psychic, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen, but I've been on the fashion scene for a while now, so I think I've got a pretty good idea. I say that, but you might come back to this video in 6 months' time and it's aged horribly, but only time will tell. Anyway, we've got a lot to get through today, so I will get a move on. I'll link everything that I talk about in the description below, so if anything tickles your fancy, check out the description box. If you like this video at any point, please do drop it a like. And now that's all out the way, let's get into the video. So the first trend that I want to talk about is all about New Balance. New Balance really seem to be dominating the sneaker market at the moment, and I just don't see them slowing down. I'd say they're the most exciting sneaker brand out there at the moment. You don't know what they're going to do next, and some of their collaborations have been awesome so far. Their sneakers are well made, they're comfortable, and there's plenty of styles to choose from. Although I must admit, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of their styles, but there are a few that really stand out for me. The 327s are a pair that I really like, for example, and more recently the XC72. And I especially love their collaboration with Casablanca on this shoe. And I know there's a lot of people out there who can't stand New Balance sneakers, but either way, they're going to continue to grow in 2022, and they're just going to get bigger. The next trend that I want to talk about that's going to be big in 2022 is bomber jackets and varsity jackets. Now, bomber jackets, I wouldn't say they go out of style ever, but they definitely get more or less popular with the times. But over recent months, I've been seeing them everywhere, and they're definitely becoming more and more popular. And I think they're going to be huge in 2022. I do love a decent MA1 bomber jacket. I think they're really easy to style, they go with everything, so you can't really go wrong with one. But as well as bomber jackets being on the rise, varsity jackets are also on the rise. Now, I'd say varsity jackets have been more popular over recent years than bomber jackets, especially in 2020 and 2021. Loads of people started to wear varsity jackets, but I can only see them getting more and more popular. I've noticed a lot of brands putting more focus on varsity jackets, so I think they're going to be a lot more easily available, so I think we're going to see a lot more of them. But both styles of jacket, they're really easy to style, and I think they finish off a look really nicely. So I'm all for this one, and I think it's going to be big in 2022. Next, we've got more of a movement rather than a trend, but I think it's going to be huge in 2022, and it's sustainable fashion. I don't know about you, but I'm paying more attention than ever with what I'm buying, and I know a lot of people out there are doing the same. And with all the problems we face with climate change and the fashion industry being a big contributor to that, it's a much needed movement. And hopefully in 2022, we see more fast fashion brands making more of an effort to change, making it easier for the consumer to buy better. I also think buying secondhand will become even more popular. We've got so many apps out there that make this a lot easier, and people are really into recycling old clothing, making a bit of money, and also saving a bit of money too. We've got another movement next, which is going to be massive in 2022, and it's genderless clothing. There's more genderless clothing brands popping up now and becoming more and more successful. And also brands in general are putting out more unisex clothing, and I think it's great to see. Clothing is clothing, wear what you want. If it looks good, it looks good. Remember, there's always going to be people out there who don't like your style, no matter what you wear. I've noticed men wearing nail varnish is becoming more and more popular. I think Harry Styles just released his own nail varnish collection as well. And men wearing skirts is going to become more and more popular too. So I think in 2022, people are going to feel a lot more comfortable to wear whatever they want and to be able to express themselves more freely. The next trend that I want to talk about, it's been around for a while, but I can only see it getting more popular again, but it's wearing loungewear out on the street. I really like this trend, I really like the look of this trend, and to be honest, who wants to stop wearing loungewear? It's so comfortable. I think we're going to continue to see a lot of what we've already seen with loungewear in 2021, but I think what we will see more of is the mixture of preppy style and the sports style. I've been seeing it a lot more recently with the likes of Aimé Leon Dore and Drake's. We've got Gant as well, and Sporty and Rich, for example. So in 2022, I think we're going to see a lot more smarter and dressier sportswear and loungewear looks. For example, people wearing loafers with their tracksuit bottoms. Love it or hate it, I think it's going to be a huge thing. The next trend we've got is GORPCORE. and this is a word that I've been seeing online everywhere at the moment. But GORPCORE's all about taking practical and functional clothing and wearing it more casually. So for example, hiking clothing, skiing clothing, and climbing clothing. It's funny but good seeing practical clothing becoming more popular, because when I was younger, it was all about the aesthetic, and most of the time what you were wearing was very uncomfortable. But as long as you look good, that was all that mattered. But it is nice to see that people are being more sensible these days. In my opinion, this all started with the North Face, people wearing the North Face with their streetwear outfits, and now you're seeing people go to a lot more hiking and climbing and skiing brands like Arc'teryx, Gramici, and Solomon, for example. In my opinion, this can be a difficult style to make look good, but if you do it right, it can give off a great look. And to be honest, as far as trends go, this is a really good one to get behind, because practical and functional clothing is always going to come in handy. So even if this trend dies out and you no longer want to wear your Arc'teryx jacket in the street when it's not raining, if you go for a hike and it's absolutely tipping it down, then I'm sure you're going to be reaching for that jacket still. But yeah, if you didn't know what GORPCORE was, like I didn't when I first heard it, I hope this explains it a bit better. I think it's something to do with raisins on hiking, go raisins, picnic, I don't know, GORPCORE. Let's move on. Now I know there's a lot of people out there calling for big bright colours in 2022 and saying that's what we're going to see a lot of. But I honestly think we're going to see a lot more people starting to accept simplicity more. And I don't mean that in the way of wearing a pair of APC jeans, a pair of Common Project sneakers, and a button-down Oxford. I just mean whatever style you're into, choosing more simple pieces in that style. I think people are buying a lot more neutral colours these days, and clothing with a lot less branding on it. I think it's becoming more and more popular. I think as sustainability is becoming bigger and bigger, people are thinking about what they're buying a lot more, and people are buying a lot more simple things because they're going to get a lot more use out of them in years to come. In my opinion, making a simple outfit stand out is one of the hardest things to do, but when done right, it speaks louder than any bright, in-your-face, loud pieces. In my opinion, of course. So in 2022, I think we're going to see a lot more simple pieces, but the focus is going to be a lot more on silhouettes and the cut of clothing, and I'm all for this one, obviously. The next item that I think is going to become more and more popular in 2022 is loafers. And I know there's a lot of people on the channel who really don't like loafers. Now, loafers always play a big role in certain people's styles, but I've noticed a lot of other styles starting to wear loafers a lot more. I've been noticing a lot of people wearing loafers with their streetwear fits these days, and I think it's down to brands like Aimé Leon Dore that people are doing this more. Now, I've been wearing loafers for ages. I do love a good loafer, so it's nice to see people wearing them a lot more. I'm curious to know why people don't like loafers so much. If you don't like loafers, let me know why in the comments. I honestly think you're going to see people who hated loafers before wearing loafers in 2022. The same thing happened with Birkenstocks, for example. People thought they were so ugly, so hideous, and now everyone's wearing them. Also, I've been seeing the return of the shoelace belt. I've been seeing brands doing this a lot more. I've been doing this a lot more, and I really like the look it gives off. I know there's a lot of people out there who think this is a bit silly, but that's the thing with fashion. There's people who think every style is a bit silly, and that's what keeps it interesting. So you do you at the end of the day. If you enjoyed this video, please do leave it a like. If you're new here and you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to hit subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. I hope you all had a good Christmas as well, by the way. I'm going to go and eat some more Christmas food, so I'll see you later. See ya!